Hey Meeps, today is an exciting day because we get to go through the definitive top 10 list of board games of all time. So please join me. We're just gonna show them, I'm gonna talk about them quick, we're gonna move on so that you get through this and maybe you can add one or two to your collection that you might think you would enjoy. So let's jump right in. I will actually tell you, before we jump in though, at the end of the video, I'll kind of explain why this is the definitive list. But first, check them out, see what you think, leave some comments, etc., etc., and let's get into it. So, number 10, my top 10 game of all time is going to be Codenames. Now this is, you check out my other video that talks about storage, this has been broken down, it's actually got two of these, but for sake of this video, this is Codenames, and Codenames is awesome. You have the two teams, and they're going at it to figure out the code on the board and try not to get the black one. It's a super fun game where you hopefully have some connection with somebody else, or you're really good at giving clues. I know some people try to play it safe, get maybe 1, 2 links together. Sometimes I go for 4 or 5. And I'm just like, let's do this. Let's just blow up the board. So I love it. It's kind of like a push your luck, but you also really want to win the game and work together as a team. So Codenames is number 10. Number 9 on the list actually is a game that I started playing at Camp Berea in New Hampshire. I found it there, and that is Bang. So Bang I actually don't play that much. And the reason for that is because honestly, I kind of want a lot of people. It's like, some people say it's good at 5. I don't really think it's good at 5. It's predictable a little bit. You can still play it at 5. I still love it at 5, but I think 6 to 8 is more of a sweet spot. So Bang the Bullet here has a bunch of stuff extra that you can use, and it's really fun and expands it a little bit. Honestly, I don't really play with the expansions. We just play the base, and we love it. We absolutely love it. Hours and hours and hours playing Bang. That is number 9. Number 8 is a game that's sort of new to our list, and that would be Azul. So my wife and I actually have been playing this a lot recently, and we kind of love it. We're doing good. I almost never win, but we still absolutely love it. There's a reason why it's on almost everybody's list of a top something board game, or maybe they call this a beginner game, a gateway game, if you will. Azul is pretty awesome. I actually think it is a well-designed game, and I think that you should pick it up. That's why I have it at number 8. Now, number 7 would be Disney Lorcana. Now, I don't have anything flashy that I want to show you here, but I do have, what I picked up here, is these are my enchanteds. And so if we go through, we have Aurora here, we have Maui, we have Mickey Mouse. We got a lot of awesome things. And the reason why I picked Lorcana is because 1, it is a fun trading card game. My wife played Pokemon, I never did. So this was my first foray into a trading card game and collecting. So I love collecting the enchanteds. I love them, love them, love them. I was blessed to pull an Elsa. I've showed that in another video, but this game is just super fun to play. So it's about collecting, but it's also about playing the game. So whether you're playing with just 2 people or 4, it's a super fun experience, and it's easy enough for a kid to kind of be able to get into it, but it's also more challenging as you get strategy and you figure out how many do I want in my deck. It's a super fun game. If you haven't played Disney Lorcana, they do have that starter package out, so you can kind of learn the game step by step and go forward from there. It's an awesome game. Go check out Disney Lorcana at number 7. So close this up, make sure these enchanted stay enchanted. So I'm actually gonna move this to the ground right here. And that would be, I believe number 6 now, would be a mix of a bunch of games, as in Dice Throne. So Dice Throne, I have, this is season 2 right here, season 1's over there. And we've got Krampus, I don't know if you can see it, Krampus up there. We got the Marvel version, we got everything because Dice Throne is amazing. If you've heard of it, it is basically Yahtzee, but it's powered up Yahtzee. So you can do a bunch of things, you take people out, you try to get awesome things. You can upgrade your board so that the things that you roll get more power and more of that. So whether you're playing with a team, two teams together that are competing against each other, or whether you're just playing one-on-one or one-on-three, whatever, this is a super fun game. It is ultra playable because it's got so many characters that you can come in and do things with. It's fun every single time, and it's kind of new every single time for me. So I love me some Dice Throne. So let's throw that over there. Next up, we have, I believe this is number 5, we have Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is one of my almost gateway games. You kind of saw that in the video that I did on that, but Ticket to Ride is a super classic game. Most people have played it or at least seen it, heard of it. Ticket to Ride, you collect cards and then you place trains. And the longer your trains are, the more points you're gonna get. And you also want to have the longest train at the end of the game, but you also want to complete your routes, and the routes are hidden so people don't know where you're going for. So if you get to a route first, that's awesome, or a place first and block people. It's super fun. I love Ticket to Ride. There's a reason why it is a super classic game, and so many people have picked it up and know it and love it as well. So that would be Ticket to Ride. I believe number 4 now, we have Lords of Waterdeep. Lords of Waterdeep is probably a bit of a, I guess heavier game than some on this list, but I absolutely love it. The worker placement, everything. This is a game that I was introduced to a long time ago, probably 11 years ago now. And it was one of those that got me like, okay, board gaming can be cool. Board gaming can be cool. It was not my gateway game, but this is one that I have fond memories of, which is why it's probably so high on the list, or just because it's awesome. So you can do so many things with it, worker placement and get resources to spend. It's so good. I would highly encourage you guys check it out. Lords of Waterdeep. I actually, when I played it a couple times, I actually went and bought it on my iPad immediately. This was back when, iPad games weren't exactly amazing yet, but this one was, and I don't know how many times I played it because it's so good. So Lords of Waterdeep at number 4. Number 3 is one that I've talked about, and I've done a video about this on my channel. This is Sagrada. Now, if I talk about my wife and I playing Azul all the time, this one actually comes above that. And you can see that on my list that it's well above that. Sagrada is a fun dice laying or rolling, drafting out of a bag game, and then trying to draft it out there with a snake. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It is challenging. The different objectives that you have, the different ways that you can move different cards, different dice, not cards. But you do have cards a little bit. This is just a super fun game. It is easily approachable. We have taught it to so many people. I consider it a gateway game for some of my friends who we showed it to. This is a super fun game, and if you haven't tried Sagrada, pick it up. If you like Azul and you've never tried Sagrada, try it, because you'll like it. Next up, number 2 is going to be Parks. Now, I don't know, this game looks a little bit unassuming, and I absolutely love it. You put it out there and you get to push your luck and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go really far so that I can get the resource that I want. And then if you do that, you miss out on some other resources earlier on, but you could also end the game early and other people won't have the chance to get the resources they need and do the things they need to do. When you're playing with 4 or 5, which is what I mostly play it at, we play it at youth group. Kids love it. Literally, like, we start explaining it. So if you've ever played it, we start explaining it, and it's there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. It's overwhelming. You get through the first season, and all the kids are like, oh yeah, no, I like this. I like this. This is good. And then we keep on moving, keep on going, and we love it. This is a game that is good at 2-player. It's good at 5-player, it's good at 4, it's good however you do it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We love the artwork here. And if you did not know, there is a second edition coming out, also a deluxe edition. It looks super cool. I'll see if I can put a link to that, but it's a new one coming out for pre-order. I'm super pumped about what that actually looks like and stuff. So that would lead me to, and I don't have enough room here, my #1 game of all time. And I've talked about it before, over and over, because it is literally my #1 game of all time. And that would be, I don't have the box for it, but I have this instead, because it is so big and I have so many expansions, as in AKA all of them. And it doesn't even fit in this thing, but this is Dominion. This is my favorite game of all time. There's a story behind it, as most of you guys might have remembered if you watched the first video on how I got into gaming. But this here is an amazing set of cards. And here's what I love, is that every single game, it is different. Whether you just have the base box and you shuffle and you choose, you use a randomizer on your phone, whatever you do, and you pick out those cards, it's gonna be a different game every single time. Now you could set it up the same exact way, and if you like a certain set of cards, go for it. If you're teaching other people, you wanna start with that base set probably. But the reality is, it's a new game every single time. I love it. The expansions add so much. I'm just looking at this right now, and like some of the things that they have added in the way that they change the game, that you get stuff that you can reserve and you play at the beginning of your next turn, so much stuff. Dominion is something that was a hit. It was great. And then they continue to add to it and make it better, which is what you want in all of your games. If you've got something good, why not continue on that? So that is what they have done in Dominion. And I'm so happy that they have, and they put so much effort and work into it, because honestly, I could play this forever. I'll throw up my total of number of games that I played online, which is embarrassing, but I also didn't have kids at the time. So that's what I got. This is my #1. So when you look at all these games, I want to go back and kind of talk about the fact that this is the definitive top 10 list of all time. And here's why I say that. Here's the little caveat. That is my top 10 games, the games that I enjoy the most. Now, this doesn't include my board gaming friends that we bring over. This doesn't include my wife, honestly. This doesn't include anybody else. This is my list. And here's the reality, and I've said this before in those videos, I am new to board gaming. And when I say that, I just talked about this. I played 10 years ago, or 12 years ago, something like that, like Lords of Waterdeep. Other things, I played Ticket to Ride a long time ago. Yeah, I've played board games for a long time, but I didn't get into it until recently. So that being said, I have so many things on this list back here that I have not played, and some of them would surprise you. Be like, oh my word, are you kidding me? You haven't played that game? So that is why, as part of the reason why we have this channel, is that I can explore, I can have fun, and it's just gonna be an amazing time figuring out and learning new. So probably by January of next year, in the next top 10, it's gonna be totally different. Maybe there's a top 20, I don't know. But there are so many games I left off this list that I love. I see other ones over there. This is an ever-changing, I think sometimes they call it fluid. You know, it keeps on going. This list is my top 10, definitively, as of right now. And I just want to shout out, I actually used a service to help me figure out what this was. So I used the Pub Meeple ranking engine to help me go through all the games that I've played and kind of figure out what my top was. So if you haven't used that, go to Pub Meeple and you'll check it out. It's free to use, though you can donate, and I would encourage that. But this is an amazing list that I have because I love it. I could pick up any of these games right now and go play. And that's the thing. Playing together, playing a game, brings people together. And we were created for community. So Meeps, let's get some games to the table and let's play. Invite people over, go to people's houses, go to a board game cafe, whatever you need to do. Be in community with one another and have fun. We'll see you in the next one.